You've got new love coming in with this butterfly spirit energy that is the result of you choosing yourself. You have gone on a journey of self-discovery, personal alchemy, crystallizing wounds into wisdom. And this is something which has increased your energetic value. It has sent out a very clear signal to new potential suitors that have something more in alignment, it feels like, with a higher, a divine love, something that it feels like can create ripples and waves of change in multiple areas of your life, both them for you and you for them. This is the result of you holding yourself accountable, raising your standards, closing the door to anything and anyone that asked you to diminish yourself or kept you waiting on hold for too long. You packed your bags, you moved forward. You disconnected from that cycle of giving chance after chance, or always giving other people the benefit of the doubt, and instead you poured all of that grace back into yourself. This has been a process which has allowed you to cultivate a unique set of wings for yourself that is lifting you up beyond kind of a habitual tendency, it feels like, to repeat unconscious patterns. You're able to see those things from a higher perspective, and you've proven to the universe your willingness to kind of like choose better, to know better. Like on instinct, you're gravitating in a different direction. You're not so quick to linger within circumstances that are not a right fit for you. You're quick to close the door, quick to decline, quick to move forward, or to even process the energies and emotions of disappointment for circumstances that you've opened your heart or your mind or your life to that haven't worked out. And rather than kind of letting that be a stumbling block or something which holds you back, for those of you that are resonating with this reading so far, this is something where you've really kind of like got in up to the elbows as far as, sort of digging deep within the shadow, seeking the lesson, processing the pain, and simply continuing to face forward and put one foot in front of the other in the interest and the direction of finding that higher aligned love. This is something the universe has taken note of. And so it feels like things have been rearranged behind the scenes in your favor that is now creating the ability for this higher vibrational love to hear you loud and clear. And it's almost like an energetic green light has been given for somebody that you are supposed to meet, somebody you will come into contact with very soon, or for some of you, this could be someone you've connected with recently, to come on the scene and to show you a very different experience as far as the building of a potential partnership than you've experienced recently, or even for some of you at all. We have ancient oak spirit. So it feels like your ancestors highly approve of this person that is coming towards you, or somebody that you may have recently met or that you're going to meet very soon. This is somebody that it feels like matches an energetic frequency that they were able to get through certain kind of like force fields or barriers that were put in place by your lineage, by your ancestors, by your spirit team, when you made it abundantly clear that instead of just remaining within patterns, that you've chosen to kind of break free of those things for yourself. And that has resulted in kind of these spiritual reinforcements. Your efforts in the material world have been matched, energetically speaking. You're not alone as you have been walking this journey, maybe of needing to find yourself, taking time to be single, celibate, learn yourself within your solitude, pour into yourself before kind of like seeking to fill others' cups or have your cup filled in return. This has earned you the respect of many within your lineage. You are doing things and have accomplished things that they could have only dreamed of, or, maybe attempted and weren't so successful in. And so this is something where it's almost kind of like, from this point moving on, potential suitors not only have to kind of be vetted out by you, but it feels like you've reached a level in your life or in your timeline where people can't even kind of like come close to you unless they pass a series of tests, energetically speaking, that open the door for them to move forward. For some of you, it'll almost feel like you have been sort of hidden in plain sight. And this is not because of anything that is sort of dimmed or diminished about your light, but it's almost like your lineage and your spirit team and your angels being very protective over you. Kind of like, no one gets close to my baby unless they have those good intentions. No one comes in close unless they're bringing something real to the table. And so, this new kind of suitor, or for some of you, this will be some options, like a selection of individuals to choose from. It feels like they have done some work inside of themselves as well, where they are bringing something more possibilities, more potential, aligning with you on those kind of like higher key codes that you have entered into yourself that are now part of your frequency that announces itself, your energy being your calling card before all else. And these are individuals who align with that, who balance that out, who resonate at that frequency. And so it feels like, the approval is kind of given, again, from your angels, from your spirit team, from your ancestors, for certain individuals to now be allowed to approach. If there'd been people that were kind of like secret admirers from afar, they may be given kind of the courage or the motivation to move forward, which is, evidence of your spirit team kind of opening the gates for them to enter. This can also be something where, if it's people that kind of encounter you and it's for the first time, that they, instead of just occupying that place of like a secret admirer energy or sitting on a long-term crush, they're very determined to move forward in a proactive way. That again is your ancestors and your lineage and your angels and your spirit guides letting kind of these people approaching, or this person approaching, they have our seal of approval. So, if it looks good to you, it looks good to us. We also have unicorn. So it feels like this is going to be a very unique season of your life as far as romance is concerned. Especially if you've been focusing on yourself, you've been single, you've been out of the dating scene, or you just, you've been looking for love, but you haven't really found anyone to connect with. It feels like you're going to go from like nothing to a lot of somethings. You're the hot commodity, you're the central focus, you are the prize. And it feels like people will be doing the most to kind of showcase why you should pick them. The auditions for that spot next to you, these are not just going to be, a bunch of clowns that are like, well, I'm here, isn't that enough? These are people that it feels like are going to bring something to the table that it's actually like, okay, this is something to work with. This is something that, aligns with kind of what I've been choosing within myself, or what I've been wanting or desiring in a meaningful long-term partnership. For those of you that have been, journaling, scripting, trying to like manifest this in terms of qualities and characteristics that you've been looking for, in like a future partner, in a specific partner, and, like a spouse, for example, this is going to be the season where there's going to be people coming towards you that check off a lot of those boxes, perhaps even somebody that fits very accurately the description that you've put out there to the universe, maybe even a while ago, in terms of like what you're desiring, what you're wanting, what you're looking for. And it's like, finally, it's the time for the arrival of that person, because they've done the work inside of themselves, you've done the work within you. And so, you both have kind of actively manifested the stars aligning for yourselves in your own lives in other ways. And so this is the right time for that more kind of appropriate experience of love and partnership, rather than like lessons that you each needed to go through in earlier chapters in your story. Yeah, we have Forest Temple Enlightenment. So again, this is, possibly the season where you're going to be meeting that forever person, that future spouse. This is something that represents that higher level love, something that has spiritual components to it. It's not just lust. It's not just kind of like, cool, okay, somebody that I have shared interests with and we get along and we're buddies, so might as well become something more. It's like you're going to have all of those components deeply fulfilled, but there's going to be something else, something more that kind of like lets you know yeah, this is something that is applauded by your spirit team, that is applauded by your ancestors, it's applauded by your angels. It feels like if you're getting signs and synchronicities relating to this person, they're going to be very direct, they're going to be very quick. It's going to be kind of like you're asking for that confirmation and it's right there within minutes, instantaneously, immediately. Kind of like, show me a sign and you look over and hey, there's their name. Show me a sign and they call you or they text you or they reach out, they make some sort of concerted effort. Show me a sign and it comes through in the form of prophetic dreams, maybe something very significant, or just other things that'll be very unique for you, that bring with them not the energy of confusion, but something that feels almost like it has that signature of your spirit team, and the divine kind of stamped on it. Like, yeah, if you want to give this person a chance, we're behind that. We're all for that, but you have free will. So you decide who that kind of like, person ultimately is that you choose to move forward within your life, that you choose to build partnership with, that you choose to explore romance with more directly. But it feels like instead of people that are just kind of going to be testing sort of the work that you've done within yourself, your ability to kind of raise your standards in some sort of way or choose better, these are people that it's kind of like out of these options, or if it's just one specific person coming through that has a lot of, kind of spiritual backing attached to them or associated with them, this is something where, it's going to be a very uplifting experience in love and partnership. It's going to be very pleasant. It's going to be very supportive. It's going to be something very different than what you've known before. It's going to be closer to that experience of wish fulfillment that you had kind of looked towards as a motivation, maybe to take a step back from dating for a period of time and sort of heal some wounds inside of yourself, or ways in which you had made a choice to kind of reach for something better, reach for something more, and to self-create that first so that you're matching each other. So you have that kind of, alignment with one another on that deep level. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.